Thought when I grew up I would be the same as the ones who gave me my last name. I'm better than that, I'm better than that. I'm living my life so I go to heaven, never come back. I used to call my mom every Sunday, so she knew her love wasn't far away. To get started with this song, we're going to be in the key of G major, and we're going to need to learn 6 different chords. First chord, the G major, will have our middle finger on the 3rd fret of the low E, pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A, and ring and pinky on the 3rd frets of the high B and E strings. Next we will have an A minor chord, which will have an open A string, middle and ring on the 2nd frets of the D and G strings, pointer finger on the 1st fret of the B, and an open high E string. Next we're going to use an E minor 7. This is going to have our pointer and our middle on the 2nd frets of the A and D strings, and our ring and our pinky on the 3rd frets of the high B and E. Next will be a D major chord, which will have an open D string, pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the G, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B, and middle finger on the 2nd fret of the high E. You can also play this as a D over F sharp, where you're going to bring your thumb over the top to play the 2nd fret of the low E string. Next up will be our C add 9 chord, which will have our middle finger on the 3rd fret of the A, our pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the D, and our ring and pinky on the 3rd frets of the B and E strings. Last but not least will be a B major chord. This won't actually be in the key of G, but it moves out a little bit to make a really cool sound. So this B major chord will have our pointer finger fretting the 2nd fret on the A string, and our ring finger will bar the 4th fret of the D, G, and B. And this is kind of a tough bar shape to play, but there's lots of different ways you can learn to play this B chord. You can play with your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the high E, and then your middle, ring, and pinky on the 2nd frets of the D, G, and B. And you can look up lots of different chord charts on the internet to find which one will be easiest for you. For both the verses, both the pre-choruses, and the bridge, we're going to be using a picking pattern with our thumb on the root of the chord, which will either be on the low E or the A string, or for the D major chord, that'll be up on the D string. And then we will have our pointer finger on the D string, and then our middle and our ring fingers on the G and B strings. So on our G major chord, I'll demonstrate the picking pattern. We're going to strike on the downbeat with our thumb, then with our pointer, then with our middle and ring, and then back with our pointer. It'll sound like this. And that cycle will continue through on different chords throughout the verse and pre-chorus. For the verse, we're going to start on our G major chord for 1 cycle, to our A minor for 1 cycle, to our E minor for 1 cycle, then we'll play a half cycle on the E minor and a half cycle on a D over F sharp. So the half cycle will just be striking with our thumb and our pointer, then we'll go to our D over F sharp and strike with our thumb and our pointer. And we're going to repeat that line from the G to A minor to E minor and then to D twice for the verse. So it'll sound like this. Thought when I grew up I would be the same as the ones who gave me my last name. I would not give in, I would not partake in the same old drugs everyone else takes. Hey guys, if you are enjoying this tutorial today, you can thank Leslie MV for recommending this song down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear you guys' recommendations, so please keep them coming, and make sure to subscribe so you can get notified about new videos on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Then moving into the pre-chorus, we're going to start on a C add 9 for 1 cycle, to an E minor for 1 cycle, to D for 1, and then half cycle on D, half cycle on G, the same half cycles that we did in the verse. So it'll sound like this. I'm better than that, I'm better than that. I'm living my life so I go to heaven, never come back. But look where I'm at, look where I'm at. I'm living the life I said that I would, I wanna go back. But then at the very end, we're not going to switch to the G. We're just going to let the D major ring out into the chorus. For the chorus, we're going to introduce a new strumming pattern that will go down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. And that strumming pattern will play across 2 different chords. So for example, at the beginning of the chorus, we'll go from an E minor to a C. It'll sound like this. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. So the strumming pattern itself will play across 2 separate chords. So in the chorus, we'll play 4 cycles of the same chord progression. We'll go from E minor to C add 9 to G to D over F sharp. And the first time through, it's going to be slightly different. We're going to do kind of like those half cycles. We'll do 1.5 measures on a G, and then a half measure on our D over F sharp before going back to the D, but the rest will be whole measures on every single chord. So now the chorus will sound like this. I used to call my mom every Sunday, so she knew her love wasn't far away. But now I'm all messed up and out in LA, 'cause I care more about what other people say. I used to not take chances with God's name, but it's been so long since I last prayed. And now I'm all messed up and my heart's changed, 'cause I care more about what other people say. Then in the yeah, yeah, yeahs in the post-chorus, we're going to go from a G to an A minor to an E minor twice. Then G, A minor, E minor. Then we'll go G, B major, E minor before hitting a C and letting it ring, 'cause I care more about what other people say, into verse 2. And that will sound like this with a single strum on each beat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I care more about what other people say. And then into verse 2. The bridge will be almost exactly the same as the verses. We'll go from a G to an A minor to an E minor, but then lastly to a C add 9, we're going to let that ring into the final chorus. It'll sound like this. Thought when I grew up I would be the same as the ones who gave me my last name. Now you should know how to play the entire song. So, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like. I'd really appreciate that. And go ahead and subscribe down below to get notified about new content just like this on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. You can check out a whole playlist of all my original music up there in the top right corner. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you later.